Good evening, and welcome to the 2021 Academic Recognition Program. Tonight we will begin our ceremony with the flag salute. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Before I offer any remarks, I would like to take a moment to introduce some of the people who have made this event possible. We have our Board of Education, who are led by our President, Mrs. Laura Fitzwater, and our Vice President, Mrs. Dolores Woodington. They are joined by members Mr. Michael Bramhall, Mr. Daniel Gaffney, Mr. Ed Kenny, Mr. James McGuckin, Mrs. Kathleen Quinn, Mrs. Christine Trompe, and Mrs. Christine Turner. We have our district administrators, Mr. Stephen Capello, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Frank Goulburn, Director of Curriculum, Mrs. Darlene Llewellyn, Director of Special Services, and Mr. Tom Egan, our Business Administrator. I am joined at the high school by two exceptional assistant principals, Ms. Caitlin McCann and Mr. Jason Miley, who is also our athletic director. Our department supervisors are Ms. Anna Marie Barron in math, Mr. Robert Becker in social studies, business, and technology, Mr. Matthew Digney in physical education and art, Ms. Suzanne Kerr in world language, EL, and music, Mrs. Arlene Goldfarb in special education, Mr. Charles Kind in English, Mr. Edward Palmer in science, and our lead teacher in special education is Mrs. Susan Bennett. Please allow me an additional moment to recognize a few of our exceptional staff members. Our Educator of the Year is Mr. Brad Campbell. Our Achievement Award winner is Mrs. Monique Bogus. And representing the Cinnaminson School District as the Educational Services Professional of the Year, Ms. Kimberly Moroff. We would also like to recognize some of our Service Award recipients. For 15 years of service, Mrs. Mary Demiri, Mr. Anthony Faltz, Mrs. Renee Gill, Mr. Kyle Hart, Mr. Brett Jenkins, and Mrs. Julie Leitz. For 20 years of service, Mrs. Carolyn Baker, Mrs. Lori Highland, Mr. Albert Miller, and Mrs. Mary Orfanos. And finally, for 25 years of service, Ms. Michelle Forbes. Before we transition to the next portion of the night, I would like to offer a couple of words and introduce our very special guest speaker. Tonight we honor academics. In fact, the criteria for entry to this evening's program are very clear. One simply needs to be a member of either the honor roll or principal's list for the first 3 marking periods of this academic school year. However, describing that straightforward objective belies the myriad of challenges one must overcome to maintaining excellence over time. Most people can manage a moment or two of excellence. However, the students we recognize this evening are consistently excellent. That is not only one of the most challenging things a person can do, but also what I believe to be one of the strongest predictors of future success. Our guest speaker this evening is the embodiment of that very lesson. A perennial figure at events like this, Sam Udatong was a 2012 graduate of Cinnaminson High School. Post-graduation, Sam went to MIT to study computer science and aerospace engineering. He is currently the co-founder and CTO of Fireflies.ai and manages a team that spans 3 continents. He appeared on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine in September of 2020. It is my tremendous honor to present Mr. Sam Udatong.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me here as a speaker. Super congrats to everyone for being recognized at the award ceremony. I wanted to share my journey because I was once in your shoes. I graduated from CHS in 2012, and after CHS, I ended up going to MIT where I studied aerospace engineering and computer science. And since then, when I graduated, I started working on my company Fireflies. So what Fireflies is an AI that can join meetings and take notes automatically from your calls. So after you invite Fireflies to a meeting like on Zoom or Google Meet, Fireflies will join, transcribe the meeting, and then send you the entire summary and recap. You can go back to the audio and listen to it. You can search through that meeting for any word that you said and also any other meeting that you've ever had, and share it really easily with people who are on the call. But I wanted to share a little bit more about the journey and some of the lessons that I've learned along the way, because even though with Fireflies, we've figured out how to raise millions of dollars, we've landed on news articles like Forbes and the cover of Entrepreneur magazine. A lot of the journey was filled with pain and struggle, and it kind of tested, ourselves on our own resolve and the limits of how persistent we could be. So I wanted to share a little bit more about that journey and some of the lessons that we learned along the way. One of the key moments with Fireflies that we faced was we actually started it in college back at MIT. It was a completely different idea. We didn't really know how to build apps or run businesses or make money from customers, but what made us start was, just our interest. And so one thing that always has resonated through this entire journey for us has been just following our passions, and focusing on what we were personally interested versus what everyone else said was cool. So in the very beginning of Fireflies, we were actually working with Bitcoin in 2014, and we were exploring some of the cool technology and seeing how can we apply this to make life more efficient and life easier. Um, that didn't work for us, our first version of the product, but we were able to switch the idea by integrating some other cool technology that we're kind of excited about, chatbots. And even though we tried a bunch of different things, one key part of the journey for us was leaning into what we found interesting and exciting and kind of ignoring what others were saying. So when we actually made it to the current version of Fireflies today, which was our seventh pivot and our seventh iteration, I remember at the time, like a lot of my close friends didn't believe in what we were doing. We got like discouraged from mentors and advisors, and even like family. Like sometimes it's not clear whether you should keep going down a path or not. So one example for me, which was a key moment, was I actually got admitted to Harvard Business School right after I graduated, or at the end of like during senior year at MIT, and I came to a decision point where I had to decide, like, do you go to business school or do you keep working on something that you know hasn't reached success yet, but I believed in and I was passionate about. And so for me, I always kind of leaned into my passions, and that's what I would always encourage for others as well. Um, to really like be honest with yourself on what you enjoy to do, what brings you excitement, what gets you up out of bed every day, and to work on those things even harder. For Fireflies, that was a large part of what we did. One extreme example of that was when I was actually out in Silicon Valley working on the company. There were many opportunities to make easily six figures working as a software engineer at a company, like bigger companies. But instead, I decided to keep working on Fireflies, save as much money as possible, um, living week to week and month to month, uh, by surviving on Domino's Pizza and Soylent. And to me, it was all about like having that conviction and believing in yourself and your passion. So if there's one advice I would share to you guys as you move forward to the next part of your journey, it would be definitely follow your passions and work as hard as you can, and don't take no for an answer. Thanks, guys, and good luck.
Thank you, Sam. And now for ninth grade award winners. Alex Aguiar, Sarah Andrade, Jacqueline Arking, Dominic Armento, Alex Arnold, Alyssa Auletto, Joseph Barton, Michael Beers, Warren Berenbrock, Jude Bowers, Bentley Bramall, Riley Cassidy, Caitlin Colfer, Leela Colley, Nicole Correa, Nathan Costa, Taylor Craig, Andrew Crandall, Mitchell D'Alessio, Alexis Daniels, Jenna Del Grippo, Kira Del Grippo, Ella Donan, Mason Dranchek, Grace Dreyer, Elizabeth Duong, Bharat Ilongo, Sean Gilmore, Megan Glisson, Dylan Gomes, and now Mr. Repsher.
Mike Repsher, school counselor here to continue recognizing the class of 2024. Bridget Hauk, Zoe Howard, Madeline Hubbard, Olivia Irons, Jia Jiang, Loon Jiang, Christopher Youngblood, Olivia Camaras, Samantha Keyports, Grace Kennedy, Michael Kulik, Petros Mantagas, Ana Maria Marino, Kayla Meenan, Kendall Mingo, Sophia Morgan, Marco Morel, Andrew Mosey, Jake Parrish, Jackson Peacock, Abby Prickett, Aiden Quinn, Shane Razis, Julia Reed, Lauren Ringer, Dean Santalaris, Charlotte Sell, Joseph Shepard Jr., Gabrielle Sickler, Ian Simmons, Magdalena Smith, Kaylee Solomon, Daniel Stavalone, Alexander Stewart, Benjamin Stewart, Lillian Surma, Angelina Trembula, Aiden Underwood, Brandon Vitter, Caitlin Vogel, Sean Walker, Ayana Walls,
Grace Willers, Isaiah Williams, Corey Yalson, Andrew Zemecki, Madison Willers.
Hello, my name is Suzanne Kerr. Mrs. Elizabeth Kilroy and I will be presenting the sophomore class of 2023. Caitlin Ambos, Diana Ashley, Cameron Batchelor, Gabriel Bivens, Chelsea Bonpozniak, Carly Booth, Rhiannon Bowers, Alexander Boyko, Sydney Brickley, Brandon Kachese, Courtney Calhoun, Ava Cartoni, Dean Clark, Aaron Clark, Derek Cosiano, Ryan Cosiano, Nathaniel Costin, Christian Chaika, Leah Del Grippo, Melissa Devone, Catherine Duong, Trista Durham, Sriram Elongo, Olivia Elliott, Malachi Etienne, William Frasso, Gabriel Garcia, Patrick Geegan, Sarah Glisson, Sophia Gonzalez, Kate Harding, Lila Hayes, Aiden Henhaffer, Ryan Horner, Kirsten Howard, Nicole Howe, Alyssa Highland, Delaney Imandi, Eli Kern, Logan Cravel, Madeline Lubin, Michael McChristy,
Samantha Magin, Seamus Mahoney, Emma Mestrangello, Mia Mazzo, Matthew McCarran, Dalton McDonald, Ryan McGee, Kira McEwen, Arezzo Mehmet, Alexa Milowski, Dimitri Milias, Gina Moreno, Samantha Morescu, Rachel Murphy, Abigail Neely, Nicholas Nelson, Nicholas Olson, Alyssa Otto, Christian Palmer, Olivia Parisi, Josh Piera, Cosette Quinn, Aiden Quinn Wright, Stephanie Runoff, Ryan Rivers, Tyler Schill, Emma Schreier, Sydney Schweid, Jack Shallow, Molly Shearer, Daniela Spite, Kevin Storty, Ella Straub, Riley Vogelman, William Walker, Matthew Walter, and Sarah York.
Hello, my name is Anna Marie Barrett. Mr. Robert Becker and I will be presenting the junior class of 2022. Ryan Adams, Miana Alessandroni, Dante Alford, Jenna Averill, Yaron Akit, Paul Benish, Tyler Bernard, Eamon Black, Micaiah Blaman, Gabriella Bomtempo, Veronica Campbell, Emery Ceylon, Grace Collar, Grayson Cooney, Juliana DeCesar, Gianluca Di Cristofaro, Nicholas DeLeo, Brendan Ellie, Carly Everman, Sean Fields, Albert Fickery, Sophia Flynn, Sarah Guerriere, Teresa Hawk, Gina Marie Height, Croy Horsley, Lindsay Jeffries, Vivian Jang, Nathan Karakashian, Colin Kenville, Samuel Koch, William Last, Pierce Lee, Abriel LePage, Manuel Locke, Lincoln Mader.
Antonetta Marino, Francesca Martelli, Claudia Masciantonio, Nicholas Mastrangelo, John McLean, Amber Melberger, Alessandro Mongeli, Taylor Marescu, Madeline Neely, Allison Neidert, Lucy Nelson, Whitney Nguyen, Hannah Ortiz Strauss, Brianna Otto, Yangtze O, Destiny Overman, Hatija Ozer, Haley Painter, Nicholas Parisi, Brianna Petrella, Joseph Pollard, Grace Ringer, Kylie Rohde, Brianna Rohrbach, Ryland Ross, Grace Sackner, Ava Schmidt, Laura Sickler, Peyton Stavallone, Natalie Stein, Dylan Shapanik, Kelly Teague, Anthony Vallone, Juliana Wall, Nathan Wyke, Gavin Welsh,
Mackenzie Weatherby, Amani Williams, Kaylee Wright, Carly Yeager.
Hello, my name is Joanne Carroll, and Mr. McNamara and I will be presenting the class of 2021. Jenna Ahmed, Alexis Ambos, Gicia Araveo, Gabriela Aristeo, James Asbury, Busa Baulick, Meadow Basilio, Andrew Bishop, Matthew Blair, Derry Bacchus, Perry Boone, Cecily Bramhall, Andrew Brown, Matthew Bundy, Ryan Burry, James Cherubino, Matthew Cho, Jenna Colfer, Tyler Kahn, John Cotter, Alyssa D'Altreche, Anna Del Grippo, Giovanna Downs, Timothy Dunleavy, Haley Dwyer, Celeste Edwards, Joanna Flair, Margaret Fugel, Cara Gallagher, Cassie Glisson, Anna Glossinger, Amanda Godwin, Andrew Hamilton, Corey Harrell, Dane Hess, Conlon Holt,
George Katsiotis, Isabella Corbel, Danielle Lindsley, Joshua Long, Bryant Liu, Allison McEnany, Juliana Milavoy, Isabella Morgan, Caitlin Mulligan, Robin Murray, Lillian Myers, Nicholas Neal, Destiny Palfy, Simone Pissetti, Gianna Pappas, Sarah Passy, Juliana Pizark, Andrew Proctor, Alexandra Riviello, Natalie Riviello, Ziane Robinson, Damian Rohrbeck, Erin Riskoviak, Matthew Rowland, Olivia Rosenberg, Declan Ryan Lawton, Caitlin Safka, Anthony Scarpa, Andrew Schneeman, Grace Sinise, Mateus Silveira Silva, Amari Smith, L. Smith, Shannon Smith, Gabrielle Sokolowski, Sarah Sokolowski, Jacob Solomon, Lauren Stein, Jack Stewart, Daniel Terafay, Kira Tice, Emma Tretola, Jamie Tucker, Richard Ukena Izoa, Isabella Valdez, Morgan Waite, Luke Walton, Owen Wyke, Peyton Willis, Roderick Wright Jr., Michael York.
Hello, my name is Caitlin McCann, and it is my privilege to announce the names of the individuals who have earned academic recognition for all 4 years at Cinnaminson High School. Andrew Bishop, Matthew Blair, Matthew Bundy, Matthew Cho, Tyler Kahn, John Cotter, Alyssa Dautrichet, Anna Del Grippo, Timothy Dunleavy, Margaret Fugel, Kara Gallagher, Dane Hess, Conlon Holt, Isabella Corbel, Danielle Lindsley, Bryant Liu, Allison McEnany, Juliana Milvoy, Robin Murray, Gianna Pappas, Sarah Passy, Andrew Proctor, Alexandra Riviello, Natalie Riviello, Erin Raskoviak, Declan Ryan Lawton, Caitlin Savka, Andrew Schneeman, Grace Sinise, L. Smith, Sarah Sokolowski, Lauren Stein, Isabella Valdez, Luke Walton, Roderick Wright Jr., Michael York, and Cecily Bramhall. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Jason Miley, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director, who will be presenting our top student in each grade.
In addition to the previous commendations, I would like to take the opportunity to announce the following awards. The Burlington County Secondary Principals and Supervisors Association recognized the top students in grades 10, 11, and 12 at their annual academic recognition ceremony. The following students from Cinnaminson High School were acknowledged for their top academic achievement. Grade 10, Emma Schreier. Grade 11, Grace Kohler. Grade 12, Matthew Blair. Congratulations to all three of our honorees. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Stephen Capello, Superintendent of Schools, to deliver our closing remarks.
Greetings, Cinnaminson High School students and families. I am once again honored to address the award recipients of this year's Cinnaminson High School Academic Awards reception. In the same vein as last year, I am disheartened that the distinguished ceremony we hold in person annually is once again the victim of our challenging circumstances. The disappointment notwithstanding, I am no less proud to congratulate each and every one of you on your accomplishments and recognize you for your hard work, your grit, determination, and unwavering pursuit of excellence. If nothing else, the last 14 months has served as a test to all of us. Difficult learning situations challenged you and your ability to succeed in the most demanding circumstances. Whether your classroom was your bedroom, your kitchen table, your home office, or somewhere else, you found a way to not only get by, but to also distinguish yourselves. It was not easy, but please consider this. Past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior, and the same is true of success. This notion was emphasized in a 2018 Forbes magazine article. The article included a research-backed survey that outlined the 8 most important traits that serve to indicate a propensity for future success. It shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone watching this video that the ability to overcome adversity plays a key role in an individual's success story. The article analyzes this adversity quotient, which refers to the way in which people respond to the challenges around them. People who are primed to deal with the adversity handle it better than others and use that adversity mastering framework to problem solve into the future. These people are also more motivated to exceed beyond their current circumstances. All of you who are recognized as a part of the ceremony this evening have distinguished yourselves as academics in a highly competitive atmosphere. As a district that values academics above all other pursuits, your recognition is a source of great pride to your teachers, your principals, our district administration, and the Board of Education. We celebrate you, we salute your accomplishments, and we stand by to serve as your biggest fans in all future-facing endeavors. Again, congratulations and best of luck as you finish this school year and beyond.
Congratulations to all of our students recognized for their academic achievement. Thank you for joining us tonight and have a wonderful evening.